Well, hello to anyone that is there right now, or if you're watching this in replay, you can fast forward past this 4 minutes and get right into the show. But if you are here live, I'm happy you're here. I always love it when people are in the audience live. And remember, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, especially Facebook, you can write in your comments, and I would love to see those because the show is better when I have input from the audience, just so you guys just don't listen to me just talking. So also, if you want to be on the show, in the show, participating, and you want the audience to see you and hear you, there'll be a QR code that you can scan with your cell phone, and that will bring you right into the show, so everyone can see you and hear you. Also, there'll be a link there on Facebook, and maybe, just Facebook. No Facebook link? Facebook. Okay, yes, we have a Facebook. We have a Facebook and YouTube tonight. Okay, cool. Facebook and YouTube will have a link there. So also, if you want to be actually in the show, on the show, where we can see you and I can have a conversation with you on the topic, that would be great. And it's very easy. All you have to do is click it and then follow the prompts. Also, you can watch the show on my website, which is knowtoBestill.com/podcast. So those are the couple of things you can do. And if you ever, for some reason, you can't see the show on Facebook or YouTube, just go to the website and you'll be able to watch it from there. So whenever there's a technical difficulty, and which happens sometimes because we do not control Facebook or YouTube, so sometimes those connections don't work quite right. But just go to knowtoBestill.com/podcast, and you will be watching the show, and you can do all of the same things that you can do from Facebook or YouTube. So we have approximately 1 minute and 35 seconds, and I'll be here doing a poem. How about that? So please stand by. We've got about 1 minute and the show will get started. You'll see me right here live on video, and hopefully we'll have some participation tonight. We would love it. Definitely would love it. Like I said, it makes the show better because I really do want to hear your opinion on the poem tonight and the topic. So we've got about 30 seconds, so please stand by. Hey, it seems that I'm live already. I believe I am. Yes, so here I am, getting ready to start another show. So, welcome to Poetic People Fighting Racism. I'm your host, Anthony Cordova, Tony C., the man about love. I'm just trying to spread a little love with activism living inside me. So, what in the world can I do? Can you do? Can we do with just another online show? Let's see where we go when we know what we feel is real. Let's show how we deal with real discrimination. Let's show how we use what we have with poetry. Let's show how we live with real racism, taking our breath away while taking our lives away. You know, we take steps every day to make us better and stronger the longer we live with poetry in our souls as we grow wise. This is why we're on this journey, because we're seen as the others, not brothers and sisters. They got us playing Twister, just waiting for us to topple down, always trying to keep us underground, but we keep rising and standing up for our rights. Our rights we already have. So let's do what we do with love and poetry. We can be the change we need because we are everyday people, creative, smart, and strong people, poetic people fighting racism. That's us, that's you, that's me, poetic people fighting racism. So welcome, welcome, welcome to Poetic People Fighting Racism. Here we are again. How about that? I'm your host, Anthony Cordova, Tony C., the man about love. I will answer to all of those things. So, tonight, this is episode 10, Wishful Thinking. Wishful thinking. That's what we're doing tonight. And what is wishful thinking? I wrote a poem about the way I hope things go sometime in the future. I would like it to be the near future, but maybe it's way out in the future. So let's touch on something. I did a show the last 2 episodes ago with Devontae Mitchell that was murdered by the security guards. I am so tired of doing shows like that. But anyway, it seems that the security guards have been convicted. Bravo! No, they have not been convicted. They've been charged. They've been charged. Sorry. You see, I am not a journalist. I am not a journalist. I'm a poet. Yeah. So, anyway, I hope everyone can hear me okay. I seem to be hearing everything okay, so I think we're all right. We'll see. But if anyone is hearing a hum or you can't hear me well, please send a comment and we'll see if we can resolve that issue. But I do not hear any problem, so I think everything is going through okay. Now, tonight I'm going to do a poem called The Living Truth. And that poem is about, I really hope that one day all of us can get better in this country and begin to understand each other. Some of us do already understand each other and some of us don't. Now, in my manuscript, as many of you know, I use a phrase, the blue and white eyes. The blue and white eyes represents, the blue part represents the people that believe they're superior to anyone else, anyone of color. Also, it can also be a reference to police also. Okay, and then the white part of it is seeing through a white gaze, kind of not seeing people as people, seeing people of color or any other nationality, anything else other than white, as being different and less than. So that's why I referred to the blue and white eyes. I also referred to decent white lives. Now, decent white lives are just decent people, decent Americans, decent white Americans that are just decent people. You know, they don't hate someone else just because of the color of their skin or where they're from, or if they're from another country. So you'll hear reference to that. So in this poem I'm going to do, you'll hear me say white lives, and white lives, I'm referring to decent white lives. And you'll hear me talk about the blue and white eyes also. So that's what I'm going to do. I just wanted to tell you that. And let's see. So the poem tonight is The Living Truth. And I'll try to make it quick. And let's pull up some music. That's the wrong music. I'm glad I didn't pull that one up. Okay. Here we go. When stars and stripes and blindfolds are removed, they will see so clearly and they will hate what they see. They will see so clearly and not want to see the truth that they see. It will create consternation in white lives with blindfolds at their feet. It will create consternation in blue and white eyes with stars and stripes still covering their eyes, still believing in lies. But they will begin to see the years of lies unfolding before them. They will begin to see the truth and lies they have been living, the truth and lies we have been dying in. Slowly, so slowly, we will begin to see minds changing into new eyes, eyes changing into new minds. They will finally begin to see who they have always been, who we have always been. They will finally begin to see what we have been living, what they have been doing to black lives in the land of white dreams, in the land of less than for minority lives in this country of lies. They will begin to realize the harm they have done and what their American lives were made from, to live in this country built on lies and on the backs and the bones of black lives. They will begin to realize, see and feel that what their parents have done and what their grandparents have done and what their ancestors have done to our enslaved ancestors, enslaved by their ancestors. They will begin to feel chains and shackles weighing them down, and ropes that snapped our necks, and whips that struck our backs, and the blood that spattered down and ran down our spines. They will begin to feel, just feel for us and what we have done through and what we have been through, for what they have put us through, living in this country built on white lies. They will begin to realize and begin to feel our people and your people seeing us for the first time. They will begin to live with us on this side of red lines, not the other side of red lines, on this side of red lines. New times, changing times, we'll be living. New times, changing times, we'll be living. New times, changing minds. We'll be living. We'll be living. That is it. That is it. That is it. Okay. This poem, I am definitely going to go through. Last couple of poems, I don't think I went through, but this one, I'm going to go through. And if anyone has any questions or comments, please type them in. And again, if you would like to be in the show and have a conversation with me, just hit that QR code and you can do it, or you can just go Click that link if you're on Facebook or YouTube, and it'll bring you into the show. Just follow the prompts. Okay. Now, with this poem, and by the way, this poem is actually a lot longer. I just read a portion of it. And if I see a need to elaborate with the further part of the poem, I will. But I don't think I'll have to. Okay. First lines. When stars and stripes, when blindfolds are removed. So in this country, many people in this country are blinded by the stars and stripes, our American flag, that make us, many people in this country, feel like we're more than what we are, like we're superior because of these stars and stripes. Now, these stars and stripes were built on slavery. Okay, that's how this country became so wealthy, through slavery, free labor. Think about it. If you had a business, and for those of you that do work for yourself or own businesses, imagine if you didn't have to pay payroll. Think about it. How quickly you would become wealthy. How quickly. You can have 4 employees and you might have to pay $200,000, $300,000 out per year on these 4 employees. Okay. Imagine if you didn't have to pay that. How quickly you would make money. So many people in this country do see through, the stars and stripes, how great this country is. And it is a great country. I love this country. I do. I really do love this country. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. But this country is not perfect, and no country is perfect. Oh, there's the buzz. Let's see. Buzz gone, I bet you. You hear buzz anymore? Good. All right. The buzz is gone. Thank you for that. And just in case you all heard the buzz, sorry. Okay. Now, so the first line, when stars and stripes, when blindfolds are removed, they will see so clearly, and they will hate what they see. Now, how do these blindfolds get removed? That happens through us, through all of us. When we stop hiding this country's true history on how it was built on slavery by enslaving people of color from Africa, when we really begin to accept it and act like it did exist. But instead, many people, including politicians, try to act like they did us a favor. Slavery did us a favor because we learned skills. Yeah, that's it. So no matter what happens, they try to act like these things weren't so bad. And when we remove those blindfolds, that's when we'll begin to see. Now remember, these are things I really hope happen one day. Maybe it happens long after I'm dead and gone, but I still want that to happen. I want us to learn how to treat each other as people and to learn to love each other. So when blindfolds are removed, they will see so clearly, and they will not want to see the truth that they see. It will create consternation. And white lives with blindfolds at their feet. So I'm talking about the decent white lives in this country that take those blindfolds off and see the truth, the real truth. But it will create consternation, much confusion between everyone. And then the next line, it will create consternation in blue and white eyes with stars and stripes still covering their eyes, still believing in lies. So there will be also a portion of people that they still want to be superior. No matter how much the truth is shown, they will still not believe. But they know the truth. They know the truth. So some people will begin to see, so I wrote, but they will begin to see the years of lies unfolding before them. They will begin to see the truth and lies they have been living in, the truth and lies we have been dying in. So, of course, when I talk about I'm talking about people of color in this country that are still being killed, still considered to be less than. And this is why all of these deaths are happening all the time. Somebody will say, yeah, but they committed a crime. Not all the time. Sometimes they do. A person may commit a crime. But if it's a speeding ticket and you end up dead from it, not many people that are white in this country end up dead from a speeding ticket. No. Doesn't happen much. Doesn't. But I say here in the next stanza, I say, slowly, we will begin to see minds changing into new eyes changing into new minds. So that happens with the people that take those blindfolds off, that own up to what this country is and how it was built and want to make some change. So they will finally begin to see who they have always been, who we have always been. So what I mean by that, a person that is white in this country and that was born white in this country and their family is from this country and they're all white and their ancestors are all white from this country, they will begin to see the way it's always been. White, superior. Black, of color, inferior. And these things are systemic in this country. So it's ingrained in all of us, whether you're white or black. If you were born and raised here, it's in us. It's in us. But if we know it's in us, we can change it. If we know it's in us. So when we finally begin to see how things truly are, then we can change things. You know, everyone talks about the American dream. But for some of us, that American dream is not completely obtainable. When I say completely, like most white people in this country can move to any neighborhood they want. And you'll say, well, technically, a black person can move to any neighborhood they want. Technically, that is true. But we have real estate agents that try to keep neighborhoods all white or all filthy rich. They're able to do it. There are still red lines. There are still, and you know what? I don't even have to point these things out. I don't have to say, oh, one's here, one's there. Here's the question I put to everyone in the audience. Why are there black neighborhoods and why are there white neighborhoods? How come we all don't live together? How come and why is it that in a black neighborhood, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house with 2 garages, 2-car garage, is worth less than the same house in a white neighborhood? Why is that? Why, and I know this is true for a fact, why is a public school in a black neighborhood kind of run down, but then the public school in the same county, in a white neighborhood, in an affluent neighborhood, affluent part of town, is amazing, beautiful. And they have the best teachers, best education, best everything, best football team, best everything in the same county. Why is that? Doesn't sound equal to me in a public school system. So yeah, red lines still exist. They just try to make them invisible. But they still exist. These are the things I want to change. I want a public school in the black side of town to be the same school as in an affluent part of town, which is usually white. And I can go into a whole bunch of reasons why, but that's another show. Okay, that's endless. Okay. Let's see, where am I going to go down to? Let's jump down to here. They will finally begin to realize the harm they've done. So just living in this country, if you're white, and this isn't 100%, and I never speak in absolutes, but in general, if you're white, because of systemic racism, means it's ingrained in all of us. Without even trying, you're part of the problem. You're just living your life, but if without even trying, just you go to work, you go to school, you live where you live, this and that, but you're part of it. When you go to buy a car, for instance, everybody, talks about car dealerships and they're all ripping you off. But let's go with that. Let's go with, hey, all car dealerships are ripping you off. When a black person goes into a car dealership, chances are they're going to get ripped off even more. Even if you negotiate the price, even if oh man, I got a good price on the car. But they may steer you to some financing that ends up costing you more in the long run. These are things that happen all the time. When a black person goes for a mortgage, they could have the exact same credit score and make the exact same amount of money per year, but they will push a bad loan with a high interest rate or bad terms to a black person. It's fact. It happens all the time. And that needs to change. So some of you have heard me say we're free-ish. So black people are free-ish in America. So when you bring those types of things in, we are kind of free-ish. When you work your job and you're a black person and you get passed over for someone else with less experience, with less education, just because you're black. Friends help friends. A white manager is going to put a white person in that job when it's time to get a promotion or a raise. They do it without thinking. They just do it. What's more familiar to them. So we're free-ish. We're kind of free. We get pulled over by police more. Kind of free. And people say, well, if you didn't do anything wrong. I've been pulled over many times where I didn't do anything wrong. Many times. Fortunately, I did not end up dead. This is good. All right. So I go down here. Let me see. I'm going to use and what their American lives were made from, to live in this country built on lies, on the backs and the bones of black lives. They will begin to realize, see and feel what their parents have done and what their grandparents have done and what their ancestors have done to enslave our ancestors by their ancestors. So you may think, a person may think, well, I never enslaved anyone, so I'm not guilty. I have not benefited from enslaving anyone, and I never have. But in this country, if you are white, many white people have generational wealth. And when I say generational wealth, it doesn't mean you're a millionaire. But it means your ancestors gained from slavery in some way or another. Some way or another. So when money, land, all of these, education, especially education, is gained by that family money, it makes a difference. Where black people in this country, whenever they try to gain, it's somebody tries to destroy them just because they're black. Oh, so I'm going to jump down to the end of this poem, and I end out with new times, changing times, we'll be living. New times, changing lives, we'll be living. New times, changing minds, we'll be living. So it's my hope and my prayer that one day people will just really accept how this country was built and really start treating everyone with love. Really get to the point where there are no black neighborhoods and white neighborhoods and Asian neighborhoods, because we treat everyone as equals. That's my hope. Wishful thinking on my part. But that's what I would love to happen. But it's wishful thinking. But I'm going to keep praying, and I'm going to keep doing this show, and hopefully it'll help us get a little bit closer. So that's what I'm going to close the show out with. Love. We need to love each other. We need to love one another. So remember to check out Poetic People Fighting Racism every other week. And that is on Saturday nights at 9 p.m. And the next show would be on the 24th of August. Yes, I'm looking at a calendar. I got a calendar right there. So come and check us out. Also, every Wednesday, we couldn't make it last Wednesday to I'm Right, because Jill was not feeling well. So, you know, when Jill's not there, you all get upset if I'm just there. So check out I'm Right every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And you can also watch that on YouTube and Facebook. And you can go to Jill's website and check it out too. So just want to say, I love you all. I am trying to spread some love. And even though I got to bring the ugly stuff to the surface, I want us to love each other. So remember, I love you all till the 24th. Bye.